In this video, we're going to discuss converting from the US measurements into the metric system, meaning inches into centimeters or miles into kilometers, converting between the liters, meters, grams into the other gallons, quarts, inches, miles, and pounds and ounces. So you have this conversion chart. Notice some of these have little wavy lines. That just means that 1 mile is approximately 1.61 kilometers. It means that it's been rounded, is what it is, okay? So on most of these, we're going to get approximations where they've already been rounded here, and we'll probably do some rounding in our final solution as well. We're going to set up conversion charts just like what we have been doing. So let's look at 10 inches, and we want to go into centimeters. Now, if you look at your conversion chart, it shows 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Again, we're going to use the conversions just like we have been. I'm going to start with 10 inches over 1. Since I have inches on the numerator here, I want to put inches on the denominator here. So 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. This way I can cross out my inches, and I'm going to multiply 10 times 2.54, leaving me with 25.4 centimeters over just a 1, which means 25.4 centimeters. So 10 inches is the same thing as 25.4 centimeters. Now let's look at going from kilograms into pounds. You will notice on your conversion chart that 2.20 pounds is approximately 1 kilogram. This just means that this number has been rounded. Okay. I'm going to set up the conversion just like I always do. I'm going to start with my 0.26 kilograms over 1. I have kilograms on the numerator, so I'm going to put kilograms on the denominator. So 1 kilogram and 2.20 pounds. This way the kilogram units cancel. And I'm going to multiply 0.26 times 2.2. And I'm going to get 0.572 pounds over 1, which is 0.572 pounds. So 0.26 kilograms is approximately 0.572 pounds. Now let's look at a couple of other examples. So I've got 15 liters is approximately how many quarts? Well, I do have a conversion that says 1.06 quarts is approximately 1 liter. So I actually have a conversion straight from quarts to liters. So I'm going to start out with 15 liters over 1. Liters is on the numerator here. Liters must be on the denominator here. And 1.06 quarts. The liters cancel out. And I'm going to multiply the 15 times the 1.06, and that gets me 15.9 quarts over 1. So 15.9 quarts is approximately 15 liters. Which, if you notice, it makes sense because they're about a 1-to-1, close to a 1-to-1. So 15 to 15.9, that makes some sense. Okay, then I want to go from meters into yards. I've got 1.25 meters, and I'm going to go into yards. Thankfully, we have a conversion directly from meters into yards. 1.09 yards is approximately 1 meter. So I'm going to start with 1.25 meters over 1. And since meters is in the numerator, I'm going to put meters in the denominator, so 1 meter. And I'm going to put yards in the numerator. And my meters units cancel out, leaving me with 1.25 times 1.09. And that's going to give me 1.3625 yards over 1. So 1.3625 yards. Now in this particular case, it did not say where to round, and this one's not really too much of a rounding. Most of the time we want to go out at least 3, if not 4 places behind the decimal, just to make sure for accuracy purposes. Okay, so here's one. A bottle of saline solution holds 32 fluid ounces. How many liters is this? A couple of different ways you could go about it. You could change fluid ounces into milliliters and then milliliters into liters. You could change your fluid ounces into quarts and then quarts into liters. Doesn't really matter which one you do, as long as you show the conversion that you use, because depending upon which direction you go, your answer may change slightly. So let's start out with our 32 fluid ounces over 1. And I'm going to start out by going from fluid ounces to milliliters. And it says that 1 fluid ounce is equal to 30 milliliters. Okay, so that crosses my fluid ounces out. Want to go to liters, so I have to look out and say that 1,000 milliliters is equal to 1 liter. That's on the conversions for just metric units. That leaves me with the liters. Okay, so that means I've got 32 times 30 times a 1 on the numerator, which gives me 960. The denominator, I have 1 times 1 times 1,000, which is 1,000. So I'm going to divide the 960 by 1,000, and I get 0.96 liters. Now, like I said, this is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is converting the fluid ounces into quarts. So I'm going to still start with my 32 fluid ounces over 1. Now my issue with doing it this way is I do not have a direct conversion from fluid ounces to quarts. I have fluid ounces, 8 fluid ounces is equal to 1 cup. So the fluid ounces cancels out. Then I have 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. The cups cancel out. Then 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. The pints cancel out. That has given me quarts. And now then the last conversion will be to liters, because 1.06 quarts is equal to 1 liter. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply across. 32 times 1 times 1 times 1 gives me 32 on the numerator. 8 times 2 times 2 times 1.06 gives me, oops, sorry about that, 33.92 on the denominator, and this is liters. So 32 divided by 33.92, let's see, 32 divided by 33.92 gives me, I apologize. Let's go back to where I was. Okay, it gives me 0.943396 liters. Notice there's a slight difference because of the way that we went. That's okay. You can use either method. You just have to kind of let me know which direction you went. Which conversion factors did you use? And a lot of it is because, like I said, this 30 milliliters to 1 fluid ounce is an approximation. It has been rounded. Same thing over here, 1 liter to 1.06 quarts has also been rounded. So we have to be a little bit careful and not say one is exactly correct, one's exactly wrong. There's rounding issues in both, okay? And so whenever we do each of these, you may get off some. We just have to be careful that when we do, we know which direction we converted from, okay? So 32 fluid ounces, depending upon which direction you went, is either 0.96 liters or 0.94 liters. Let's look at one more problem. And this one says, suppose this figure is a drawing of a room where 1 centimeter is equal to 3 feet. This is drawing things to scale, okay? If you were going to install molding along the edge of the floor, how many feet would you need? So in other words, we're wanting the perimeter of this thing. You could go ahead and convert each of these into feet. Probably the easiest thing, since I want the perimeter, remember that perimeter means to add up all the sides. So I'm going to take 3.5 plus 1.2 plus 3.1 plus 2.6, and that's going to give me, let's see, 2.6 will give me 10.4 centimeters is my perimeter. Then I can take this 10.4 centimeters over 1 and use this conversion ratio. 1 centimeter is equal to 3 feet. My centimeters cancel out. And so I'm going to multiply that 10.4 times 3, which is going to give me, I need 31.2 feet of the molding. If you had converted each of these first into the feet, you would have gotten the exact same thing. So again, application problems, there's usually multiple ways of doing them, okay? And remember that we always say you need 31.2 feet of molding for the room. Okay? Don't forget to write a complete sentence, and that should have a "the" there for the room. Okay? So practice converting between US and metric and back and forth, and if you have questions, let me know.